Political uncertainty involving in vitro fertilization is leading more couples to find infertility care overseas to start their families. Stephanie and Trey Dyslins of Blue Earth tried this method back in 2020, and they're speaking out for couples who plan to do the same. Here's their story. When the Minnesota Building Families Act failed to pass in 2024, Stephanie Dyslins was the first to hear about it.
I kind of am involved and keep an eye on the legislation around IVF because we didn't have any insurance for IVF. Like Minnesota, there's no insurance companies that are required to pay for IVF or fertility treatments. They don't pay anything other than prior. And so when I saw the update that they didn't pass the legislation, it's kind of heartbreaking.
The Dyslins said that everyone should have access to having a child, and it's not realistic for most people to pay out of pocket. They experienced the process firsthand back in 2020.
It's not realistic for most people to pay out of pocket. I mean, it wasn't for us. We had to really make some changes with financial and figure it out to do IVF.
The couple originally talked about going to Norway, but they said they weren't ready to travel. They decided to do it in the U.S., which unfortunately wasn't successful the first time.
Our IVF doctor in the U.S. had said that they didn't recommend we do it again because of my egg quality, and they suggested that we do an egg donor.
Stephanie Dyslins did some research on Google and came across Barbados. The Dyslins then had a telehealth consultation with the doctor in Barbados and decided to move forward.
When a couple aren't getting pregnant or a person needs fertility assistance, to ideally find the simplest means of achieving that pregnancy. And while for some patients it may be much simpler than IVF, for many patients, unfortunately, IVF is going to be the step that we end up at.
Now they have a 2-year-old son due to the procedure being a success, along with a 10-year-old son from Stephanie's previous marriage.
Well, he's definitely a spitfire, but he is obviously our miracle little baby. I suggest doing IVF internationally to everyone at Barbados. I've talked with a few different people. For those that know that we went through this experience, they kind of send families, friends, other people that end up with the same situation to us.
In Blue Earth, Lauren Weidenhammer, KUIC News Now.